Hi, girl. Hi.
Okay, I think you can hear me now.
I can. Look at you in your
Yay.
office.
Look at you. You look pretty.
And I'm sitting up. Since you were going to be in a chair, I put a chair
In a
here instead
chair.
of sitting down there. Yeah.
All right.
You look like you're
Well, since
hosting.
last time my shirt wouldn't stay where it needed to be if I was in a beanbag chair. So I'm like, I need a chair.
It works. You look like you're going to be hosting the Tonight Show with the
The
cityscape.
Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, she's ready for it. All right.
Reporting live.
Well, welcome back to our little white picket fence. We're
Little
gonna
white picket
have
fence. How was your week? Oh, sorry.
no, that's all right. And you just made me stop and think. I think it was good. I think
You
so.
think it was good?
I
We're still
feel like
here,
I
so
feel like it
it's
was a
good.
busy week. So there was so much going on that like you just asked that and my main brain just like like
Went
flatlined.
blank. I did nothing. I did
I
nothing.
I
That's
did
what I did.
nothing, but was constantly busy. So
hmm
pretty much. How about you?
I think that's going to be the title of my memoir. Like, I was constantly busy and did nothing.
Why is that a thing? I hate it. I think it's
I
because
don't know.
lack of focus. I don't know. I do get a lot of shit done, but it also feels like
hmm
just still not enough. Still not as much as like I would have liked to, you know.
Yeah, of course. I did a lot of dishes and laundry.
Ugh.
That's
I wish I had done more of that, but
really
there was a lot of driving around and going and doing things, and I got a like refund check from a place where I had surgery, and I went to deposit
nice.
it, and well, except for that they didn't sign the freaking check, and they won't answer.
What?
I,
Like,
well,
this is
none of them
useless.
answer. It's that it's like such a convoluted like I'm not getting to the person I needed. I'm getting a voicemail, and I'm just like kind of
hmm
anti. Like I don't know why that's stupid. I know I should just, but I've tried to drop by there and still haven't even managed that. I'm like,
Not happening.
how did I not do these things? But
Just
yet I
sign it
was
yourself.
busy all the time. No. I'm not gonna say that it didn't like cross my mind, but then I was like, I don't know, like I'm going to prison. I don't want to go to prison.
Yeah, it's not worth it for 30 bucks
No,
or I'm
yeah,
just
I don't
yeah.
know. And I mean, they sent me the check, obviously, but it's annoying.
Right?
Alas, that was really random. I'm not even sure why I shared that, but
Because that's what happened this week. That is what
yeah,
happened
no,
this
that's
week.
what didn't happen. That's one of the things that like super simple, didn't get it done. Alas,
But you tried. It
I
wasn't
did.
because of you. It wasn't on your part.
Hey, whatever you say.
Oh
So
man.
M's mom is gonna join us
Yes.
here in a little bit, and we're gonna chitty chat with
We're
her. So I'm super
we're gonna talk
stoked.
with her about all the good things that she does. She really
Yes.
does. She does. She's amazing.
Yeah, and
Um,
I'm sure I'm gonna learn a lot because I don't know all that's going on in her life right now or anything, but I just know that in high school, um, I remember looking at her as a little like, okay, she's kind of going a little out there right now because I was still
uh-huh.
very much rooted in
In
the in
Mormonism, and
Mormonism, and I had all my
that's
camp.
actually some of the questions I have for her. Is like, well, we'll get into all of that, but
Yeah,
just because it did seem weird at the time. She's the I'll give the big introduction when she's here, but she's the
okay.
clinical director um, of Flourish Therapy, which caters to LGBTQ youth, well, all people LGBTQ, not
Yeah,
just the youth. But anyway, she does a lot of good.
yeah,
And she started it back when that was kind of a taboo topic in Mormon culture, and it kind of still is. And
yeah, and I'm so far removed from it now that to me it's not, but
seems ridiculous, but
yeah, it seems ridiculous, and I can't believe that like she being, I don't know how much older your mom is than us. I'm assuming 20
mom age.
mom
Or
age. She's mom age older than
she's in her 60s.
than we are. But that she was somehow like more progressive than us in that way.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I don't think that I ever tried to ask her about it or anything. I didn't, because I'm sure she probably could have
And
taught
she
me a
would
thing then.
never, yeah, she would never try to force it on anybody. Me, when I get a
Yeah.
little bit of information, I'm like, guys,
Yeah.
guess what?
Ditto.
This is the way we're all going to think now because I learned something.
I'm the same. I'm the same. I
Yeah.
have to, yeah. I get a little too like excitable when I like feel like I know
Me too.
something that needs to be shared.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I
That's why we
think,
have this podcast.
yeah, I know. And I think that I'm coming from a good place. So obviously I always think that I'm right, but I realize that I'm not. So oh, but I do my fair share of talking and sharing. And I'm sure there are people that just want to like knock me out and be like,
I hope not too many.
I hope not too many
No,
either,
but
but I'm sure they exist.
well, that's a huge thing for me personally is realizing that I'm not always right, which sounds really stupid, but like that's
Well,
kind of a realization that I'm just coming to in the last couple of years. It's like
yeah,
it's okay not to be right. It's okay to
yeah,
just have an opinion for a while and then change it and be like, whoa,
yeah. And
you know, that
right
that
now,
wasn't the correct way to think.
especially, yeah, right now, especially while there's like so much misinformation out there that
Yeah,
we have to feel like we could totally fall prey to that too, because they are
absolutely.
like, they're not being dumb about it. They're flooding the market with things just to keep people worrying about stuff that doesn't matter. Anyways, I
Yeah,
was about to go all kooky poops, I think. I don't even know, but yay,
you're allowed to go kooky
Lisa!
poops. Oh, I don't see her. Where is she?
She's with us. I don't hear her yet, though.
Is it like a seance? There we go.
Do you see her?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Hi, Mom.
Hold on, we're not hearing her yet. Looks like she's
Okay.
plugging in her headphones. We don't hear you yet.
Can't hear you yet.
Um,
She'll get it. It's there.
she's working hard. She looks cute.
Yes, she does.
She can hear us.
I hear all the time that I look just like my mom.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nope.
Did you hear her?
Nope.
You just know that she's saying something.
I read lips.
So I was like, crap, now this must be on my side. I don't.
Nope. We could do sign language.
I was just gonna say that. But
Of course, all
unfortunately,
I know
none
is
of us
I'm
knows
hungry.
sign language.
This is Apple. Oh, dang it. I hit my thing. This is Apple. And this is I'm hungry.
And this
And
is
this is pizza.
thank you or you're welcome.
Mhm.
I don't know which one it is. Sorry, Lisa.
Thank you. That's all right.
She has no idea.
Hello.
Hello.
Sweet. How are you?
Oh, you know, excellent.
Super good.
Drum roll,
And
please.
I'm not
Nope.
hearing audio.
No. Oh man.
Dang it. Welcome to the little white picket fence. Do 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 do.
This is Lisa Hansen, Emily's mother.
Yep. Who we would love to interview if her sound works.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the car dance when we were younger? Sure.
Wait, no.
Oh yeah. And then I don't remember. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That came back.
It did.
Wow.
It did.
Isn't it funny how like I probably
How we
couldn't learn
stuck
I
in it.
probably couldn't learn a new like dance right now. Like I've tried to do things with Bella for TikTok. And after like the first thing, I'm like, you've lost, like, slow down.
Gone. I'm gone.
And
Yeah.
you're like, hey, do you remember the car dance? And we're both just break into it.
You
Not like it
mean
was like good or
this
anything.
one? No.
Yeah.
You get like 6 girls in a car doing it, and we all think we're awesome.
Yeah. We would have been those people that we weren't like, we were recording ourselves, but the videos that would have been watched would have been like people watching us and us looking stupid, like into somebody else's like car window or something stupid. Yeah.
Yep. Like, look at these two idiots we saw today.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like you and I, if ever we're together for Halloween again, should go as like the Night as the Roxbury's brothers.
Night of the
No,
Roxbury, yeah.
there we go.
Either that or Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Oh, yeah. We invented post-it notes.
Post-its. No, you didn't. You should. I think my class is going to do a late reunion because it got canceled because of COVID.
Okay.
And so we're going to do one like in the next year or two.
Okay.
And you should just come with us because you were more part of our class than you were of yours. And we should just tell people we invented Post-its, and those who get it, and those who don't just
suck. Just kidding.
Something like that.
I would like to, even if I didn't actually go to your reunion, but then all of you girls would be together at the same place and then could like go out
That'd
after.
be fun.
I mean, not saying I wouldn't just show up and just like act offended when people didn't know me outside of our core little group.
They would know you.
Stephen.
Dude, well, let's be honest. Half of them probably won't remember me, so it's all good.
I was gonna say I don't. Nobody really. I don't know.
Nobody really cares.
I didn't grow up, and I didn't grow up there with any of those people, so I don't have like those like extended memories where like even if you weren't friends in high school, you're still like, oh hey, I know you. It's more
we
like
hung out in preschool.
Were you?
You look kind of familiar.
I mean, if they were on the soccer team with me, then they might. But
yes,
outside of that,
yep. And they would be like, "Oh, you're the one that came with the soccer team and never played." To me. And I would be like, "Yeah, that was me."
I had a special set of abilities, and soccer was not one of them. Did you ever even try though? Maybe you were really good. No, I was talking about you. Sorry.
I was like, wait, what? No, I never really applied myself because every time I tried, I would do something really stupid and I was too self-conscious to really put myself out there. I think I would do it now because I don't care.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. It wasn't my thing. I was more into like music and playing music.
Yeah. Well, and you were like gifted in that area. Where
I don't know that I would call it gifted.
Hey, compared to my level, you're a savant.
Sweet. I'll take it.
Oh, I love that we're just like, oh, who's this?
We've got something happening here.
Moto Z4 is connecting to audio.
Hello, Moto.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
And Moto Z4. Hey.
How are you, Mom?
I'm doing a lot better now.
Oh, good. All right.
All right. Well, I guess it's a good time to start the show.
Yeah.
I'll do her introduction. This is my mom from back when I was a wee small child. Lisa Tensmeyer Hansen. She is the clinical director and CEO of Flourish Therapy and based in Utah, and they service the LGBTQ community. They are a 501c3 nonprofit clinic. She was University of Utah's Counseling Supervisor of the Year, Affirmations Ally of the Year, valedictorian of BYU when she was pregnant with her 6th child. She got her doctorate in 2017 and earned an award for the National AAMFT organization's National Thesis of the Year. She has 7 kids, 20 grandchildren, 2 on the way. She sang with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir for several years, and she's currently learning the flute. Oh, and for the Mormon community, she also wrote the song Nephi's Courage with my dad. So there you go.
She's busy.
And she's my mom.
And I have the most lovely daughter in the world.
Rachel's pretty cute, isn't she? No.
You're all amazing. You're all amazing and beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming on the podcast today. Sorry we had technical difficulties, but we appreciate you being here. And you know what? Really, we always have technical difficulties, and it's my doing. So
it's kind of true. I highlighted it the last episode. I don't know if you watched and saw that little intro of us.
Of me
I
messing
must
up.
have missed the
Anyway,
last one. I love watching you guys. I
I
love
know.
listening and watching. You have
We
an amazing
basically,
legacy already.
we kind of operate as if it's just us and you. Like, I'm like, we know Lisa's listening. If no one else, Lisa's there.
my mom's here. She's like the parent in the bleachers while you're playing a sport. Like, yay!
Yes, yes. I love
A
it.
little waving a flag.
Well,
We'll get
welcome
you a
to
pennant
our,
that you can wave.
a what?
A,
Pennant?
a little,
You
one of
know,
those little triangle flags that you
Oh, that says
wave
Little
with
White
your
Picket
school name
Fence.
on it.
I'm
Little
getting
White
you that
Picket Fence.
now.
Rachel, Emily.
Woohoo! We'll give her our name signs from the podcast a few ago.
Mine
That's
might
right.
fall apart. They're not super secure.
I don't know what you're talking about. Mine are laminated. No, just kidding. Okay, so we're gonna what's the word? Interrogate you, Mom. We're gonna ask you lots of questions and
Yes.
then I guess you will answer.
As though I came home after curfew and
Yeah.
Yes. No, but only in positive
Where
ways.
were you, young lady? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just super excited to have you on here because I really wanted to just pick your mind about what got you to the point of working with the LGBTQ community when we were in high school. Like what started your journey? How did you even, like, where were you at in your life that you could even look at it in that way?
'Cause-
Because I felt like I was so, like, I don't know, I was just so immersed in one way of thinking, and I had all
culture.
these, yeah, and I had all these canned answers that now, like, I feel like a jerk for ever even using, even though my intention was never, you know what I mean? Like the whole, it's not,
Never
I'm
harmful.
not judging you and making a judgment for myself to not have you in my life because you're, you know what I mean? Like those things that are just so hurtful, but we were kind of
You
like
don't think so when
taught
you're
to
under
use,
the
exactly.
cover of religion.
And like, how
and
did
it
you
was
get
before
there?
I answer, this is
Yeah.
a super important question.
Yes.
My son is at my locked door. Hang on just a second. I want to answer this important question.
Son is
Okay,
at my
so while
locked
she's
door.
gone, I will tell you that all the time growing up, we had 7 kids in our family, which is a lot for anybody really. And she went to school pretty much the whole time we were growing up. She would take 1 or 2 classes and hit it really hard with about the 6th kid. And she was always interested in therapy. She was really good at counseling and giving good advice and listening, really good listener. But I'm giving a background on the fact that you were going to school the whole time we were growing up and really good at therapy. And it did seem at a time when, like, for those in Mormon culture, the proclamation to the family had just come out that said marriage is between a man and a woman, and they were kind of doubling down on all of that. And it seemed an interesting career choice. And it was confusing a little bit to me as a kid because I'm like, oh, the brethren, the leaders of the church are saying one thing and my mom's doing another, and who do I follow? I don't know what to do. And like, Mom, should you really be doing that? And so what was it that piqued your interest about LGBTQ community and anyway, your desire to head that direction? Sometimes I don't finish sentences.
Me either. It's genetic. I'm sorry I gave that to you. So you probably know I've always been interested in spirituality. That is what makes people want to connect with God, and what is it about ourselves that sometimes keeps us from wanting to connect with God? What's in the way? If God really loves us and wants to connect with us, why do we push that away? And that's what got me interested in mental health in the first place. And I was always reading and watching educational documentaries and history and trying to understand the human condition with regard to spirituality. What does it mean? And I recognized that in the LDS Church, in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the point of spirituality seemed to be get rid of everything in your life that keeps you from connecting to God. And then the path opens up as you do all the things that then connect you to God. So it was like, get rid of these, add these, and you will be more likely to connect to God. And as I invested in that with all my heart, what I found was that that actually did not do the connecting. That getting rid of some things was actually getting rid of what made me human and what made me feel like connecting with God, and encouraged a kind of perfectionism that disconnected me from myself and from other people and from God. And
I
as
totally get that.
You,
Yeah, I get that.
yay. So as I started to read stories of, started out with stories of gay men. I think they came out to my awareness first, about their own spirituality, and how for years they believed that being attracted to men got in the way of their spirituality. And actually, as they got to know themselves, they recognized, no, this actually was the pathway to more connection with themselves and with others. And then they recognized it was also the connection with God. That resonated with me. And I started to recognize that the attractions that the church was sort of lumping in with lust and addiction, and it's kind of like smoking or drinking, was actually not that at all. It was actually a greater and deeper connection with self. That opened me up to all kinds of things that might enhance and increase greater connection with self. Taboo things. And so because this was connected with identity, not just with behavior, but with who am I and how can I best connect with myself and others and God, this felt like the essential piece of understanding everything about how we can connect. So the idea that we as a people would look at another set of people and say, no, you got to get rid of that in order to connect with God, felt really, really egregious, horrific, arrogant. And so I believed at the time that the church was growing and maturing and making more room for people. And I wanted to be part of that. It felt like that was the inevitable pathway. It no longer seems inevitable. It seems like in all ages of history, there's a retrenchment. Like there's a little bit moving forward, then there's a whole lot of digging
One
back.
step forward, two steps back kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
So
the other way
that
around.
I'm engaged in. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Well, looking back now, I think that took a lot of guts, because had you, for real, standing up for anybody familiar with, any sort of religious community that does not accept gays and lesbians, it can be a really hard topic to discuss. If you show support of it, there is a lot of, mob mentality. No. A lot of people will jump down your throat. A lot of people have an opinion on it that may not be
They think it's immoral,
the same as yours. Yeah.
that it's ruining our world and ruining families. And I have an opinion about what ruins
And we need to band together to.
Yeah, and I want to hear
kill the
that
beast.
your opinion about that. I do want to say though, coming from like another direction. So like I appreciate where you're coming from and how you came to that. For myself, I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't have any type of real spirituality. I don't really connect to anything like that, and I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Like there's nothing, and I know you're fine with that, but just kind of telling where I come from, that kind of I'm real intentional with my actions. There's nothing that's ultimately making me good or ultimately making me bad. I am in complete control of myself, and that gives me like a wholeness that makes me feel in control of my life. So, but because of that, I think it's important that we note that it's not just prevalent to have that hate in religious or God-fearing settings, because I think because of masculinity. And I hate people hate the word, but toxic masculinity, like men who are so insecure in their own masculinity that having that other thing out there kind of conflicts with it, and women who have held on to that same thing, that women can have toxic masculinity. I feel like a lot of times when we're addressing like people who are against LGBTQ rights and stuff like that, we kind of put it all on the religious or the, you know, things like that. And I don't think it's so narrow-minded. I think that there are so many reasons that people, you know, because people don't realize that each individual is just that, their own individual with their own likes and dislikes and what makes them them. And like you having any say over or control of that is a problem with you and no one but you.
Ludicrous. Yeah.
Yeah. But
And,
I wanted to put that out there because I didn't want to put it all on like religion as the thing that's holding us back. I think we got a few things.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Absolutely, it does. Absolutely. And I just want to throw in here, I don't mean to like change topic or anything, but one of the things I have loved when loving people, not just even the LGBTQ community, but like everybody with differing opinions and different beliefs. And when you allow people to be themselves and to believe what they want to believe and to be who they want to be, it's so much more fun. It makes life so much more like rich. We're not all just trying to be these little clones of, you know.
Yeah. And I think it opens
of
each other's minds, because once that person accepts you for exactly what you are, you're a little more like, what makes you that way? You know what I mean? Why do you think how you think? Because I like who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a threat to me that you think differently than me. I can still believe whatever I want to believe. It's not dangerous to hear another person's opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I think there is a line of like when people don't realize that they're voting for things that would actually harm someone of another, you know, like way of thinking or a different nationality or something like that. Like, I think it's important that we do draw that line that like, yes, you could think what you want to think, but vote with intention and think about everybody who's going to be affected by what you do outside of your personal belief of what that means, because that is your personal belief and that can only govern you.
So, Mom, did you?
I know, I get soapboxy.
That was great. That was great.
That was great. Okay. You're awesome. I love the way you think too, because sometimes you think differently than me and
than most.
And I love your opinion.
Oh, well, thanks.
I love the conversations we've had.
Ditto. And I think that's because we
brought
both
in my mind
listen.
as well.
Yeah. Yes.
And what kind of opposition, Mom, did you face when you were deciding to head this direction? I mean, did you have people telling you like, oh, this isn't an area that you should be interested in? Or what kind of experience do you have? Like, why should you be the one to do this?
Well, that's kind of a different question. I have no idea why I should be the one to do this. None whatsoever. I just know that this was my direction. This is what's meaningful to me. And I like to contribute. And I don't know. I don't have an answer to that part, but I can say that
you're good at it. So
as far as pushback goes, I think I was protected from it for a long time. And I think that's partially because, you know, Bill was bishop, your dad was bishop, and so and you kids were all just, you know, wonderful, perfect children.
Oh yeah, especially me.
I think that gave us a lot of credibility as far as it looked like we were doing things right, I guess. I don't know how to put that.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
We were.
Rachel knows better. No.
and we all know.
I'm just kidding.
But we were reading scriptures and holding family home evening, and the kids served missions, and our family was really deeply engaged in the gospel message, I think. And so I think people looked at us and said, don't know what to blame them for yet. You know,
like they may have taken some like a stance about it, but they would never voice it in any public manner because of like they had nothing else. Other than
it wasn't like
that would show their hate, because their hate would only lie in a hate for the LGBTQ. You know what I mean? And
it's not like they're like, oh, she's taking this direction because they drink coffee.
Or
Just
they
kidding.
may
Oh my goodness, because people, I like people want to say that, like, you just want to be able to do the things the other world does. And it's like, I want to do whatever I want to do within regards to what's good for me. There's nothing to do with that. If that holds you in it. And I mean, I don't know, but that definitely is not a factor. So maybe think a little broader than that.
Exactly. And I'm certainly not saying that this kind of judgment was like even reasonable or helpful.
No, but it's just the reality of it. It's the reality of it. It's still kind of the reality of it, you know?
Yeah,
So,
it is.
and how does that make you feel with knowing that, or feeling how you feel about the LGBTQ community, knowing that the church like hasn't like progressed the way that maybe you would have hoped they had and stuff like that? Does that in any way ever, like, I know because you have a very strong spirituality and I'm sure relationship with God. So with God, obviously there's never a question. Does it ever make you wonder anything about the church, or is that just not something that would, you know what I mean? I know if that's too far, just let me know, but I
No,
wonder
it's not too hard at all. It's a very easy question.
She's
Okay.
so
Every
offended. You're in
single
trouble.
Day, every single day, I wish that people were way more concerned about one another than about rules that seem to say this or that. And of course, that for me, that goes back to our earliest recorded history of people who believed in God. I don't like the way people in the Old Testament treated people who are different. I don't like the way people in the New Testament treated people who are different. I don't like the way that that this particular church I'm still a part of treated people that they were first organized, or 5 years after that, or 5 years after that. I mean, I think that whenever there are organizations, whenever there are societies, there tend to be stratified groups, in groups and out groups, people who are like me, people who are not like me, and we tend to assume morality in the way that the in group likes to do things. And I wish we were way more attuned to that than trying to keep the status quo.
Yeah. So why is there a draw or a need for like being part of just one when none hold like any type of complete truth? What's the need for?
Well, I'll tell you why I am part of my community, and that is because it gives me lots of opportunities to serve people I wouldn't otherwise serve.
That's awesome.
The people
reason.
I'm supposed to minister to on church on Sunday, when I sit by somebody that I haven't talked to for a while, or somebody in Sunday school says something that suggests their pain, and someone else speaks over it or sticks a dart in their wound. I like being there to say something or do something. I like being there to soften or support. I don't know. Sometimes I probably think of myself like the last fairy in Sleeping Beauty who comes in and says, "Wait a minute."
No, that's awesome.
No, that's true.
You're like the true Christian hidden within, what now is like religion and church as a whole, that sometimes can be judgmental and make people feel very
and there are many of us.
And so having people, I guess I agree, it's good that you're there to be there for people who don't know any other way and don't really fit into what that is, and so they feel very isolated. So it's good that you're there. So
well, and sorry,
it's your podcast.
when I don't know, Mom, if you remember Love Loud, when Dan Reynolds, the lead singer of Imagine Dragons, was talking about people asking him why he was still part of the Mormon community. And he said, it was because I can do a lot more good from inside than I can from the outside. I can have my own beliefs and my own way of thinking. But if I'm inside, people will listen a lot more than if I'm on the outside saying, you need to be doing this, that, or the other. So
it makes sense. You're a better person than me, because I just have no desire to sit there and listen to anything, because I have a hard time finding, I don't know, joy in listening to something that I don't see as real. It's like going to a church for Cinderella, where we learn about it, to me. And I know that sounds so rude, but that's how it feels. It's like I feel so separated from it, and obviously if I want to help, like I don't even feel like I could talk to my own parents about it. You know what I mean? Because they're very into it.
Yeah.
Are they?
And
I
I
mean,
feel
it's
like
their
I'm
life, so-
somewhere in the middle where,
Yeah.
I don't really know. We can go into that later, but
No. Oh no, I think
I
it's. I mean,
appreciate-
when else? Just you say whatever you
No,
want to say,
but
'cause I don't know.
I just
but I
appreciate
don't
my
need to
parents
know.
being, yeah, I appreciate my parents. I think if I came to them right now and said, hey, I, believe in the spaghetti church, or do you remember that? Anyway,
Yeah.
just something totally off the wall, they'd be like, all right, cool. Well, let us know how that goes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Whereas,
tell us-
I mean, and I
tell
don't.
us
I
the
just
good
don't think
times
I would
and-
even go talk to them about it. There'd be no reason to declare, "Hey, this is." I mean, I'm very open about who I am and how I feel. I don't like hide it from them at all. But I also don't talk with them about it. Which, if I were in
Well,
it, I
that-
could maybe get away with it.
Yeah.
But I would never,
Well,
because yeah.
That leads me to another point, Rach. Wait,
Yeah.
good segue there, because
You're welcome.
not only in like religion and the LGBTQ community, not only in both of those, what do you see in people who have support versus those who do not?
Me?
Yes. Sorry. Was that a clear enough question?
I don't think
It is.
so.
Yes, it is.
It's both of you. Both of you. What do you see?
At the same time. 1, 2, 3. Just kidding. Okay, go ahead.
Well, what I've noticed over the years is that, and the people in my community are either steeped in religion and care about it, steeped in religion and don't care about it, or don't care at all and kind of want to keep it at bay.
Yeah.
But the churches generally, and that I don't think it's just true of the church I go to, churches generally attract people who are in what we would call stage 3 of spiritual development. That is, they're trying to learn the rules, they're trying to live the rules, and they see that life is better when you live certain rules as opposed to letting some go. And so they want to come and have that validated, and they want to speak about it, and they want to confirm one another and feel part of something that has rules and guidelines. And they feel spiritual feelings, which also confirm this to them, and they feel like there's something wrong if we're not keeping the rules. And there are also in churches people who are what I would like to think of is a little more spiritually nuanced and developed, that recognize that a spiritual path, or a path of being connected to themselves even, involves a little bit more respect for one another as individuals and individual paths. That has to be part of what God is about. And so they may not speak up quite as much, or direct the conversation as much, or be as vocal. But I have come to believe that almost any group or congregation has those people who are not speaking. And like Rachel described, it becomes less joyful the more there are people who are in the rule keeping who do the speaking.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people who are more nuanced quit coming, and then that leaves more of the other kind of people. I think that is
Yeah.
a true pattern.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, I think you're exactly right.
All right.
Um,
Well, sorry, go ahead, Im.
Oh, no, I was just going to move on to the next question, but do you have
Well,
something that you were going to add?
Well, I have like 10 minutes until I have to go. So let's touch on what you most want to ask, and then Lisa, what you most want to make sure we hear, I guess.
Yeah. What can people do to support the LGBTQ community if they don't feel like they're a big part of it? They're just on the outsides. They maybe have been in a religion that has kind of kept them on the outskirts, and they want to show support, and they want to learn and grow and be good people.
The simplest thing is to wear something that says, "I see you," because the experience of having somebody push back on your own identity is so painful that many people who are part of the community will not assume that anyone around them sees them or validates them or cares about them, and will assume that they are at risk in almost any social situation, whether it's standing in line at the DMV, shopping, the dentist's office, anywhere in public, at a restaurant. And so they're always sort of on guard for somebody metaphorically spitting on them. So if they see that you're wearing something that says, I believe in you, I validate you, you exist, whether it's a pin or a ring or a button or a rainbow ribbon in your hair or whatever, some people on the conservative side see that as very political. But people whose identity is at risk will see that as validating. You don't even have to say anything. You mentioned Rachel earlier. She wore a pin to church once, and somebody in her ward just came up to her and said, thank you, thank you. It's the thing that makes me feel safe today.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing.
That's good.
Yeah. I've heard stories about that, actually. I heard one of a kid where I saw the picture of a note that a kid wrote to somebody who had a pride flag or some sort of flag at their thing that was like, just basically a thank you, like his family still is not accepting, and just how much it meant to him. So it made me want to like basically plaster myself with but because that I've seen so many, and I know personally multiple children who are not accepted by their family. So and it's just because if you're a safe space, you see them, their own families don't even see them. So
that's right.
Yeah,
and it's not safe space because we're coddling them.
No, or even teaching them. It's like, oh, you're you, and I see that, and there is nothing wrong with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well put.
Which is why I think anyway, where for those who may not have heard, there's a big Y on the mountain by BYU, and it was lit up fairly recently in rainbow colors, just with flashlights. Nobody painted it, nobody vandalized it. And there was a big outcry from the people who are not as supported, saying that's not what our university stands for. But I think, like you said, for if I was part of the LGBTQ community and I saw that, man, that would be
you'd
at least heartwarming,
moment,
or like there's people out there, enough people to light up a huge Y on a mountain.
Yeah. Well, and I think that like those who make it political, they think that there are so many or like that they're somehow taking over. You are what you are. No one's ever going to make you feel differently. But the
most they're going to do is make you suppress what you are.
Yeah.
They're not going to change.
The only thing that's ever told you not to be what you are is maybe religions and rules within religions and masculinity and what it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman. Those are the only things that are told you. Other people. But you like what you like, and having to suppress that and suppress who you are is,
as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
Yeah. Well, of course, that kind of obvious. Nobody's hurting anybody by being attracted to what they're attracted to. Acting on it underage, or there are many things that can make it bad. But
that's a whole different topic.
Yeah, exactly. Those are things that people associate with and shouldn't, because those are actions of a pervert. Those are actions, you know what I mean? And having
serial killers,
having opposite sex attraction is not a perversion. That's the problem. People think it's a perversion.
It's not a crime. It's not.
So don't jump to crimes. Don't jump to places of that it could be bad, because that's not what it is. It's if you had a childhood crush on a girl and you would have hated yourself for it because of what you know what I mean? I wasn't even gay and had so much like shame and stuff because there was a rumor about me that I was, and I had to question whether I was. And then multiple times throughout my life, I've been like, but am I? Because I think she's pretty. But I'm like, nope, still don't want to do anything with her. Like just like
let me check. No,
so I don't even have same-sex attraction, and I've still went through shame of what it. So I can't imagine if I did, and it was my reality, and I was told it was wrong. So
and there was a getter mentality.
Exactly. Yeah,
and having one supportive person can make all the difference in someone's.
Yeah, and worry about yourself, people. If you're hating on someone, that means something about you. Seriously, you're the problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would hope we heard or want to make sure that you get through to?
Touched on?
Yeah.
Well, just that anything you do to share and lift other people's voices and to make whatever place you're working in a place that lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, non-binary people can feel comfortable and feel like they're included and that they have representation too.
Yeah.
Anything we do makes the world a better place.
Yeah. And I know we don't have a lot to say on this, but
Yeah.
since it's Black History Month, I think along the exact same lines, like we want to make them feel heard. We need to do the exact same for just people of color and everybody by shutting up and just listening to their experiences, because
letting their voices be heard and
exactly be a
letting ours
safe
fall
space
to
for
the-
them to exactly like say the things that have hurt them and listen. And instead of being like, I don't still do that, like listen and be like, I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry that has been, you know what I mean? I feel like I just wish people could just listen a little more and stop taking everything so personally, because
Yep.
it's nothing's a personal attack except for the attack you're making on other people for what they are, who
except
they
for the
are.
personal attacks, but you know,
except for
for
your personal
censoring
attacks.
yourself.
You who feels personally attacked is the attacker.
Yep.
And that's
well, people get defensive when they anyway.
yes. I know I get defensive. I do all the same things everybody does. I am in no way perfect, and I get a little too heated about stuff, but I get mad at it. 'cause
Passionate. It's called
yeah.
being passionate, and it's okay.
Can I tell
Thanks.
you my favorite memory of the two of you?
Please.
Yes, please.
I just have to tell you,
Okay.
whenever I think of the two of you, I think of being in the house and hearing the two of you laughing somewhere. Just like
We did do that a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, Emily, I never pictured Emily having trouble like connecting with people or
Yeah.
having friends. There always seemed to be people that enjoyed being around her, but
Mhm.
I never heard her laugh as much as when she.
Yay. I like that. Mm.
That is true.
And hopefully still true.
Absolutely, it is.
I laugh because I do find everything funny. I've learned that I also do it as like a nervous tick. So I seem super happy even when I'm anxious. But hey,
It
works for
works.
me.
It works. And you were
Anyway.
always the one to pull me out of my shell too. So it
Oh,
was
good.
fun that way.
Good.
But yeah,
I
my
live
mom had a
outside
front
the
row
shell.
seat to
Oh, Lisa,
It's
do
true.
you have the video of me and Emily singing that like male female song? Like,
Broadway
both
song.
yeah, we both did
Oh,
the parts.
probably. We need to look through the videos.
We need to look
Could
through them
you?
all.
And then
I'm
if you
sure
get
we
Mike
do.
to edit, then we can have him
Okay,
get all of this
well-
and then put that video at the end.
That'd be great. Okay, all right. That's my
Look
job.
for it.
I'll go find
We'll
it.
have to next time I'm down there, I'll go through all our old videos and we'll find some gems.
Well, then we'll have to add it
We'll find
later.
some gems.
All right. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yes, thanks, Mom.
Hopefully you had fun
Appreciate having you on.
I did.
and
You guys are awesome.
enjoy listening to us in the future, fan.
I shall.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you.
Love you,
Bye.
Lilas.
Lilas.